Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments, and I just wanted to share with you a cute border that um, kind of goes along with our National Scrapbook Day theme this year, which is using a lot of honeybees and that type of thing. So I'm using a lot of punches today that actually are no longer available on the website, and I hate to do that because I know that many of you won't have these, but for those of you who do have these and are curious how this is done, hopefully this will help you, and maybe it'll inspire you to use a different punch that you have and create something similar. So this utilizes two of our Border Maker cartridges. One is an older one that looks like icicles, or is meant to kind of look like icicles. And then also this one that is fairly new, but is still no longer available because it sold out so rapidly. But this is a Honeycomb Border Maker. And these all work with our Border Maker system. Then also our Honeybee Punch, or BumbleBee Punch, which I'm gonna also show you how to make those bumblebees. So let's make the base here real quick. And I'm gonna scoot some of my scraps to the side, and we'll get started on this, getting the base put together. So I'm going to start by using this patterned paper, which is an old CM piece. I don't know which collection it's from. If you've been around CM for a long time, then you might know which collection this was from. Actually, it might have been a birthday collection because there are candles on the back, so that would make sense that that it would be a birthday collection. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, first we're gonna cut this piece, and I believe this is cut, and I'm just gonna measure it really quick because I have it right here in front of me, so I can. This is cut at 1 5/8. So 12 inches by 1 5/8. And you'll have the right width. Okay, we're going to set that aside. And you're also going to need a piece of, this is Buttercup cardstock. It's going to match. So if you have Buttercup cardstock or a yellow that matches the printed paper that you plan to use, that's what you're going to need. Get that trimmer out of the way. We're going to cut border out of this. First border we're going to cut is using the I don't know what this was called, but it always reminds me of icicles, so we'll call it the icicle border. So we're going to cut one piece of icicle border. Border maker. Hello, come on. So there's that piece. Get rid of our scraps. Now we're also going to need more of an off-white. This is our oat cardstock that I've got right here. And we're going to use that to make our honeycomb. So we're just going to take that out, put the new cartridge in. We're going to punch 2 of our honeycomb for this 1 12-inch border. All right, so there's our first one. second one. So slide our paper over, reset our magnet. Go. Almost done with the second one. Love our CM tools. So fun. Quick and easy. Some people have been saving these tiny little, you can't see it as well in the video, but these are little tiny cutouts from our honeycomb. You have to forgive me. Sometimes my brain just fails and then I can't remember what things are called, which is crazy. All right, so what we're going to do is, and you can see I kind of missed here. If you're not super careful, you can misalign your piece, and then you end up with something that looks like that. But I'm going to use this anyway, and it will be okay. I'm just going to put a B over it, and it'll be fine. So we're going to use our repositionable adhesive. I'm going to put a little bit, not all the way down it, but in different places down our cut piece. And then we're going to put this right along the edge of the bottom of our paper. Oh, you know what? Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Somebody needs to watch me. Okay, so we are going to put some adhesive along the edge of the flowing honey that's coming out the bottom. And as you attach this to your base piece, you're going to just make sure that you cannot see your base piece poking through the honey that's dripping at the bottom, okay? Then we're going to take our honeycomb and lay that on here. It's okay if you can see it, the honeycomb, or see the, you'll notice you can see the edge of that other border just barely, but because of the nature of the background I'm using on this, it's not as noticeable. So then we're going to go ahead and put adhesive along this second piece. Oh, and I've come to the end of my tape runner. So bear with me a second while I grab another one of those. There we go. Let's put it in, and then we will be good to go. This will only take a few more minutes and we'll be done. This actually goes together pretty quickly. Okay, so like that. And what I'm doing is I overlap them just a little bit, just so that this very first space covers up the very first level of your other punch. If you don't do that, then you end up with pieces of your honeycomb that are a strange size. So that helps keep them all a uniform size. Okay, so we have our base ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and make our bees. So take your bee punch, flip it over so you can see when you have your paper inserted. and go ahead and punch 3 bees. All right, you do tend to, if you're like me, you get your punch pieces kind of fly everywhere, but that's okay. All right, now we're going to use this yellow and we're going to make 3 more bee punches. Out of the yellow. Okay, so we're done with that, So we have 3 black, we have 3 yellow, and we're going to do 3 white. The reason that we need 3 white is because we need wings. And we don't need the outside for this one. The pieces that we need for this one are just the wings. So go ahead and scoot anything else other than the wings out of the way, because you just don't need it for this. All you need are those inside cutouts for the wings. And I am using, oh, pardon me, sorry. I am using our white shimmer paper for the wings. I've also used our black shimmer paper for the bee, but I'm not using a shimmer paper for the yellow for the bee. We're going to go ahead and take your repositionable adhesive, run it straight down the body of the bee and straight across the base of the wing, not up here on the top part of the wing, just down on at the base. Then you're going to flip him over, and very carefully you're going to place the black on the yellow such that you line up his antenna up here and make sure that you can see the yellow through the openings in his abdomen down here. All right. Don't worry about the yellow that you can see up here. We're going to get rid of that eventually, but right now we just want to be able to see the yellow down here. All right, so we're going to do that with all 3 bees. Down through the middle, across the bottom, and we're going to line it up so that we can see the yellow and his antenna are pointing towards each other at the top. Okay, you can see a tiny bit of, I mean, there is a tiny little bit of a void. And if that bothers you, then you can, maybe try a different way of adhering these together. But this is the easiest, fastest way that I have found for making these guys. Otherwise, it just gets altogether too tedious for me. So let's see here. Definitely helps when your antennae are lined up here, then your body is straighter and the black covers the openings easier. All right, so there we've got those. And I'm going to flip this guy over because he got flipped the wrong direction. Okay, now we're going to take our wings and we're going to put our wings on, again, repositionable adhesive. I don't know what we did without it before we had this. It certainly has made my world a lot easier. Oop. And I just put that adhesive on the wrong side. So I could rub it off, or I could just go ahead and put it on this other guy over here. And then I'll be more careful with the next one. Okay, so we're going to this guy right in here, like this. We made this this border for National Scrapbook Day at my National Scrapbook Day event, which was really fun. It is a duplicate of another advisor's idea. So if that advisor is watching this, I sure appreciate you sharing your idea, and I wish I could share with the world what your name was. You can feel free to comment on this video if you'd like and let everybody know. I wish I could tell them, but I don't know who it was. So it makes it a little bit tricky. So just make sure you're putting your adhesive on the right side so that your wings, you can put one wing on one side and one wing on the other. But like I said at the beginning, if you you can always use them in subsequent bees if you need to. All right, now we're going to use our precision point scissors, and we're going to go ahead and cut this extra yellow piece that's up here at top off. So just go in with your scissors right underneath the top part of the wing and snip the yellow piece right here. We're just cutting off the part that we don't want to see. Okay, so, and you snip it on each of the outsides, and then you have to snip it right underneath the head, not snip it, but cut right all the way across, and make sure you're only cutting the yellow. Otherwise your bee kind of falls apart. You don't want that. But there we go, we've got our bee, and I have a tiny bit of that yellow peeking out over here, so fix that. All right, so let's do that again for these other bees. So snip it under there. We're gonna go underneath his head and cut all the way across his body, just like that. And then snip it underneath his wing over here. All right. So that's what the piece looks like when you cut it. And then we can go ahead and put these bees onto our outline. Onto our base. So I'm just going to use a couple of quick foam squares to give my bees some oomph. And I'm putting them on the wings because then that helps adhere those white pieces to my bee. Keep them from getting crazy because they're really only hanging on with just that little strip of yellow. All right. So once we take off those tabs, we can go ahead and adhere our bees onto our base. And you'll notice that you can't even see where I kind of goofed up that border when I punched it. All right. I hope you like that, and I hope that you get some good use out of it, maybe with punches you were fortunate to be able to get when they were for sale, or maybe another punch and another idea. And if you do have another idea, I would love it if you'd share it, and so we can all benefit from that. Thanks so much. You keep creating and have a great day.